hasn't got a chance to talk to him.
Call regular city council meeting, Monday, July 13, 2015, to order. Clerk, call roll, please.
Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we just mentioned this a few seconds ago. Presentation, friends, for the Peru pool.
On June 27th, Friends for Peru Pool was able to hold a fundraiser at LaSalle Speedway. We thank LaSalle Speedway for the opportunity. We had 5 workers: Anita Kapinski, Clara Ferrari, James Zordrager, Megan Zordrager, and me, Claudia McKiska. Anita and I put together a raffle basket, and we also had a 50-50 raffle. At the end of the event, we had raised $226, which we are adding to the Friends for Peru Pool Fund tonight. And Clara Ferrari will present the check. I'll go on up and pick them up and I'll close with you.
Got one for the website, that one.
Each week, Clara, you should bring in another check, okay?
Okay, that's very nice. Thank you. I'd like to mention, well, when we start here, that the LAD had their 125th anniversary over the weekend, and we participated in the parade yesterday, and they had a wonderful event. They had, on parade day, the town was full of people. It was absolutely full up there, and they did a wonderful job on their celebration and their parade. I believe there was 80 entrants in the parade, and it was Peru's inaugural for the city of Peru's new float, and it was very nice, and the people out there were, I think they were happy to see us, or maybe it was the candy we were throwing out that they were happy to see, I don't know. But kudos to LAD, they did a very nice job on their 125th. Public comment on any agenda items? Do we have a motion to receive the minutes placed on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
We have a motion and a second to receive the minutes and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Do I have a motion to receive the reports and place on file?
So moved.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion and a second to receive the reports and place on file. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, I just want to point out from the sales tax report that Peru is up through the month of March of 5.4%. So it's collected $1.3 million, up about 5.5% from previous years. I think as you see the months go on, you see probably more or less a smaller increase based on what you've seen in the economy. But anyway, we have an increase in, brings in a total of $854,000 this month alone. So that's a positive sign. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. We'll move on to committee. Finance Safety Services, Chairman Putoff.
First thing, Your Honor, from Finance is total disbursements. Total disbursements for July 15, 2015 are $1,052,302.65. I move that we receive this report, place it on file, and pay the bills in the usual manner.
I'll second.
Do we have a second?
Alderman Payton.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to receive the disbursements, place on file, and pay the bills. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
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 Motion approved. Nothing further from Finance?
No, Your Honor, I just want to point out in previous Finance Committee and the meeting beforehand, we went over a great deal of items involved in economic development, union negotiations, and many other topics. It'd be redundant to go ahead and report all of those items right now. But it is a very, I guess, busy economic season for the city of Peru, and there is a lot of interest.
Okay, we'll move on to public services. Chairman Waldorf is absent. Alderman Lukosius?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll turn it over to Alderman Mueller.
Your Honor, we have the water and wastewater treatment plant report for May of 2015. I'd like to make a motion to receive that report and place it on file.
And I'll second that, Your Honor.
Have a motion and a second to receive water wastewater treatment report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Also, Your Honor, we have the Peru Public Library cash account summary for the period ending June 30th, 2015. Total funds in the library are $314,905.37. I'd like to make a motion we receive that report and place it on file.
And I'll second that, Your Honor.
This is pretty easy, keeping track of the motion. The second one is too. Okay, we have a motion and a second to receive Peru Public Library and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to seek applicants for the position of journeyman and/or apprentice lineman for the electric department.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
We have a motion to seek applicants for the position of journeyman and/or apprentice lineman for the electric department. Is there any discussion?
This is a replacement, correct?
Yes.
Resignation?
Yes, we had a resignation, and we are going to need to replace them, so.
Very good.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call. Vote, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
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 Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to discuss the state inspection and maintenance, including striping and pavement crack sealing at the airport. We recently had a visit by the Illinois Department of Aeronautics, IDOT, Division of Aeronautics, and a couple of the areas that were of major concern was the actual runway striping on the north-south runway. It has faded so badly over the years that it's actually become a safety hazard now for night landings, and they strongly recommended that we get that taken care of. So we have been in contact with Justin to try to figure out a way that we can get this money. I believe we do have some in the budget for this.
Yeah, we use part of the. Yeah, I met with Justin today after talking with Alderman Lukosius and basically with Chuck. In the budget, I had placed a marker of $45,000 under pavement preservation line item. So that money is available for use, and Justin and I are also looking at other items within the budget that we could possibly pull from depending on the cost of the project. So we'll start to put together a bid packet for it, and once we move closer and have an engineer's estimate on about what it's going to cost, we'll fine-tune those numbers.
Okay, do we have any other crack sealing on the in the works for this year?
We do not.
Okay.
The pavement preservation line is a line that we wanted to keep in the budget to address any problematic areas throughout the city. That was going to be a late summer, early fall project. If you remember last year, we did North Peoria Street, Progress Boulevard, a portion of Marquette Road, as well as a portion of the T-hangers at the airport. So this would fall in line with what we've been doing in the past year, so it's available.
Yeah, it's one of those items too that it's budgeted within the general fund, but it's one of those things in the past that we have a history of transferring that over for other uses, since it's kind of a city use line item. So whoever it's most needed would be the best place to use it.
Okay. Well, Chuck and I met with these two individuals again today, and they were really stressing the importance of trying to get at least the pavement markings repainted on the north-south runway this year. So that's what we'd like to try to be, first on the priority list.
What I'll do, I'll get up there later this week if Chuck's available. We'll do a quick site visit, see what we have, start putting some quantities together, and start preparing a bid packet.
Okay, good. And the other thing is, another recommendation they had was the removal of some trees at the north end, and Jeff, you want to give us a report on that?
Yeah, we've been up there, we started on it towards the end of last week, and kinda got pushed out of there because of the rain. We got, I'd say 80% of them down, don't you think, Chuck? Probably about 80% of them are down. As soon as it dries up a little bit, we're gonna get back in there, because we gotta go back in through the grass to get back there to knock them trees down. So, like I say, we got about 80% of them down. We've moved it quite a way, we just got the west trees left to do, and we'll have it done. We're hoping to be done with it this week.
Okay. Chuck, do you have anything else? Okay. Very good, that's all for, public services.
Do we have any idea if we spend the money to put the striping in because of the safety issue, if it would be a reimbursable? Were we able to go into that today?
We kind of played that card, and the response... Yeah.
No, I know there's no money, but if we did it, is it a guarantee that there wouldn't be any money? Meaning if we, we put 50,000, I have no idea what it costs, but if we put 50,000 into it, if we would still be eligible for a grant for X amount of money, or that would be off the table, would have to be something else moving forward. Well, other than what we talked about, that they've changed the rules and regulations for the striping, so we were going to try and do it under new rules and regulation changes, because that's an unfunded mandate, basically. But there's a lot of them out there.
Certainly pursue it, but...
Right, okay.
But we can't drag our feet, we have to make some...
No, I know, I understand that. I fully understand that. It's a safety issue. Because if lights... Is that a reflective stripe? And, I mean, I don't know anything about planes. You have headlights on planes that it would reflect once you're close enough? If the lights were out on the runway.
As I said before, it's, for night landings, it's, if you've ever driven on a new blacktop road without any markings on it, that's what it would be like landing at night, because of these markings are so faded now that, it's just a safety, hazard right now, so we've got to get it fixed.
Okay. That's everything from public services? All right, city attorney, ordinances, resolutions?
Yes, Your Honor, just one ordinance, amending code of ordinances concerning stop signs. The chief advised this evening they'd like to take off Crescent Drive. So you'd have a stop sign at northbound traffic at Winwood Lane and its intersection with Sunset Drive, and a Meadowlawn Lane northbound and southbound traffic at the intersection with Sunset Drive.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read with the corrections made?
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Payton, second from Alderman Radke to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion?
Just that this is on the recommendation of the police chief. So the subdivision has very few controlled intersections at this point, and this is just cleaning some of that up on his recommendation.
This is gonna study it, just to pop out of nowhere.
I don't know, the chief did do a study, we asked him to do it, and he said he had that done before. Correct.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Call roll.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? Have any new business? I'll go into briefly what we talked about in the committee of a whole, because I know News Tribune wasn't here. We're looking at the possibility of maybe combining our planning and zoning board. Instead of having a planning board and a zoning board, it would be combined along with our design review committee. I'm not saying we're doing it as we're talking right now, but we're looking into the possibility of doing it. Peoria did it a year ago in the spring of 2014. Naperville did it, I believe it was in 2011. Shanahan's had it for about 8 years. I've talked with the city officials in those towns, and sometimes it's hard to find volunteers to do that anymore, and so we're just looking into it. I look at the membership every 2 years after every election cycle, and it's time to look into it a little deeper and see which way we want to move forward. So I'll start consulting with the planning, zoning, and design review board members. New business. I think that was new business.
That was new.
Petitions, communications.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a communication from Ellen and Ethel Bossart, requesting permission to close Cross Street between Main and Market Street on Sunday, September 6th, from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
I have a motion to receive communication, place on file, and grant permission. This is pretty much an annual part,
Yep.
isn't it?
Yeah, this is this year neighborhood, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been an annual thing. That is the third ward. That is the third ward, but I am familiar with it. It's very, a very small picnic and hasn't been a problem in the past, so I will vote to approve that.
But they've been,
Right. Was it, who was the second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Lukosius, to receive communication, place on file, and grant permission. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Any other?
I do have one.
Okay.
Motion we grant permission.
Do we have a second? Where'd that come from? Alderman Radke? We have a motion and a second to receive the communication, place on file, and grant permission. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Any further communications? Public comment. Do we have anybody has anything want to ask, say, do? Nothing? No public comment? Okay, closed session, we did that earlier during our committee of the whole, and a motion for adjournment.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Lukosius. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
7.